Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you as always for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew Don't Get It Twisted Lapache, and this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you as always for joining us once more. All right, so as you can clearly tell, I don't have my regular background on because for whatever reason I did something to my laptop this weekend, and I don't know what I did. I swear I can probably jailbreak a damn iPhone
You
accidentally.
sound like one of
Oh,
those
my
teenage
life.
boys, Miguel.
Oh,
I don't know what I did, Mom.
yeah, mom, fix this, mom. Here, give me
I
phone.
deleted it all.
Uh,
Don't worry. You
yeah,
haven't seen that one?
no, no, I haven't seen.
Where the kid's trying to explain why he was on the porn sites.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was just searching. I was doing some research, mom.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
browsing. I was browsing. So I don't know what illegal site I visited this weekend, but apparently it deleted my background, and I can't seem to figure out in time how
That's
to get it
funny.
back. So sorry if it seems pretty bland. It is my closet door back there, so I will make sure to get that fixed by next weekend. But Andrew is always with his background, so thank you. At least one of us is on top of our game, and this is Andrew, who's been working for 70 some odd fucking hours this week, and he got his shit for whatever the hell reason. My laptop just feels like it doesn't want to cooperate today. But despite all of that, I hope you guys have been checking out our YouTube channel because I posted quite a bit of media coverage of Diego Pacheco versus Steve Nelson, which we will go over later in the show, or probably kicking off the show with that. But um, if you haven't already, please head over to our YouTube channel. I posted a picture even on our Facebook page of me at the fucking arena, right? It happened here in Las Vegas at the Cosmopolitan at the Chelsea Theater. Nice little setup, Matchroom got there. I dig that theater, like basically everywhere there is a pretty solid angle. But make sure to check out our YouTube channel because I got weigh-in stuff. I got some questions, scrum stuff. I got some post-fight press conference stuff as well. So please check it out because that's not gonna lie, it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fucking fun. It was a lot of fucking fun being over there. So this is not gonna be the last time. I'm sure there's gonna be plenty more, but make sure to check us out there. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a share, all that good stuff. The way the young cats say it now. We got plenty to talk about. In addition to Pacheco Nelson, this is the week before. Well, I should say this weekend, David Benavidez and David Morrell, which is kind of the bigger fight. There are two fights here back to back with Pacheco Nelson and Benavidez and Morrell. We're going to definitely go into detail with that. And of course, amongst other things like Ryan Garcia not fighting Pitbull Cruz after all, other things of that nature, other fights that have been announced that we're going to definitely discuss. But before we do all of that, as always, after our introductions, I like to check in with my good buddy Andrew. What's going on, dude? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Miguel? Doing very good. Running on 80%, but I'm doing very good. I'm here. I'll try to be awake. I have my coffee. I did take a nap. Today, yeah, my dispatch,
Mm,
she let me go home early. I got done with like 3 service calls,
mm.
and I said if there's not an emergency, going to the house. As soon as I got home, fell on the went to the couch and bam. Well, I took a shower and everything, but yeah, I was out. So I did take a nap. So
Mm.
you are running on a good battery right now.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fair
Yes,
enough.
sir.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I myself kind of sort of came down with a little bit of a cold right after our last show Sunday night. It's not really more of a cold; it's more of just a cough and then the phlegm. So right now I sound like Freddy Krueger talking like this, right? So it's every so often I have to clear that phlegm and like kind of clear my throat, which wasn't fun when you're in the fucking weigh-ins, like brr, coughing, holding your damn phone, recording these people asking questions. But regardless, I got through it. So I'm okay. I'm getting over it. So I would say I too am at the 85, 90%, recoup stage, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we definitely are not going to skip out on you guys. Yesterday, Andrew did have to work, as we mentioned. So we kind of had to skip a day, but it's all right because we're not going to leave you guys hanging because we got Morale and Benavides this weekend. So um, to kick off our show, I guess it's gonna be the last show. Is it the last show of December? It is gonna be not December, January, the last show of January. Next time around is gonna be February. Holy hell, we're already 1 month into 2025. Jesus fucking Christ! When you go to work every day and then you come home and you go to work every day, come home, the days just kind of become a blur, and before you realize it, there goes 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, and this weekend is already the beginning of February. So let's go ahead and get started with the DAZN card, or particularly the main event, Diego Pacheco versus Steve Nelson. So, um, as I mentioned, I got plenty of coverage there because I was able to get credentials for that fight, media credentials, and I try to go to as many media events slash obligations that they offered. Of course, I do have a regular still 9 to 5, so I can't make it to all of them. Although I did make it to the weigh-in, and of course the fight itself, and therefore the post-fight presser. So in the end, Diego Pacheco got himself a unanimous decision victory over Steve Nelson, a very game Steve Nelson, but unfortunately a very
Two
outgunned
game.
and two game for his own good. And he said, if you want to check out the post fight presser, which is on our YouTube channel, talking about the blood kind of got into his eye. I think the cut happened in the second round, and I was tempted to ask him, like, have you never been cut before, dude? Like, have you never fought with a cut? He is undefeated, or was undefeated, I should say. So I don't know if he ever has encountered that, or even in sparring or something like that. Like you kind of learn to deal with it, I suppose. Granted, it's still gonna get in your eye, so it's gonna be difficult regardless, but he did keep his composure for sure. It wasn't like he got desperate and started swinging for the fences and end up potentially getting caught. But in that 12th round, for a brief, what appeared to be momentary lapse, he got the better of Diego, even though Diego did kind of sort of gain control of the round that towards the very end. If we want to give any round to Nelson, it would be that last 12th round. So um, Andrew, you saw the fight. First and foremost, I know this aren't the kind of cards, the kind of fights that we have to actually keep score of, but the scorecards were pretty good, right? Like they weren't like too wild, they weren't too close. Like, oh, what the fuck, they gave Nelson that many rounds?
No. And I think the reason for that was no guy really took momentum of the fight for the first 4 rounds. I would say it's a very back and forth. I can see that Pacheco is he likes to use his height. He doesn't like to exchange. He doesn't have really good counters. He'll stay back, use the height, the reach, and break you down. That's what he's looking to do. The problem with that style was that he gave Nelson a lot of opportunity at 36 to hang around, right? Because you're giving him hope. You're not putting your foot down, taking it to him. He's 23.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy's 36. Can we look like there's an age difference in this ring tonight? That's what I would have been telling Pacheco. But instead, he's playing off back foot. He's backing up a lot. I had him winning because every round it was like, well, that was boring, right? Both of them kind of just like seriously, it was like one would throw one, the other guy would throw one. Then there was no countering, there was no combinations, not a lot of combinations being thrown.
Mm.
And so I'm gonna turn my phone off so that don't happen again. So I just thought Nelson was hanging around. Now he did do a good job in round 7 up of dominating this fight, right? But he also was taller, heavier, younger, right? He had all the advantages going in. So at round 7, I mean, I felt sorry for DAZN. They really tried to push the knockout like every round. They're like, oh, this is it. This is it. Oh my gosh, he got him again. And it's just never it. It was never it. It was like, shut up. Just let the fight play out. Just, then in the 11th and 12th, yeah, that was pretty, I won't say scary, but there should be red flags. He gets hit too much. And there's going to be a day where your height doesn't do it all the time, right? What is he, 6'4", 79-inch reach?
Yes, 6'4".
Yeah,
You got it, I think.
6'4", 79-inch reach. He has all the potential taking over the super middleweight division if he would add to his offense. Now, look, I'm seeing the dad is a trainer. Did the dad take the son as far as he could?
It's Benavidez Senior, the trainer.
Oh, they weren't saying it was. I could have swore they said it was his dad, bro. No.
It's Benavidez Senior. It's Jose Benavidez. He's
Okay.
in this corner. He's got Pacheco. He's got Jose Jr. and he's got Benavidez.
Well, then there's something else going on there. Because he's missing a lot. He's missing a lot, and At 23, he's very young. He can grow.
Mm.
But he's not. I mean, the championship belt around him. It's weird. Is that a WBO title?
It is. It is. It's like WBO Continental something or
All
other,
right.
but
Well,
it is
that's good.
WBO. Yeah.
Well, that's good though. It's not the real WBO because
Right. Right.
they didn't acknowledge him as a champ, and it really last night that was a very what is Lee used to call him all the time? Workman-like.
Yes. A
That was
very
very
workmanlike performance.
very workman-like performance.
Mm.
I think Nelson made more fans probably than Pacheco. Pacheco needs to watch the fight and look at how the crowd isn't cheering. That's your crowd, man. They were all there to see you. Why ain't you got these guys out of their seats screaming? Did you hear them say Pacheco or Diego once? Oh, you were there. Did you
Well,
ever hear them start chanting his name?
I can hear it, but it's like very scarce. Like it's spread out. It's not like one whole section per se. There was like Nelson had his fans there, and they were louder. Like they were
Wow.
things like there was maybe just because I was closer to them, I don't know, but they were fucking loud, man, and they were like Omaha this and Omaha that,
Nebraska
and
showed up.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they like that this whoever the hell they were, like I mean, no, they were cheering for him, but and then it was like they waited until Pacheco did something. The fans, I'm saying, until he did something and he landed something, and then they started with the Pacheco chants. But it wasn't like they were constantly cheering him on. Somebody snuck in a fucking horn like they were at a soccer game. I heard that. I was like, who the hell brought that in? Because I didn't see it.
And how did they sneak it in?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I always ask that question. Like if I'm watching a soccer game and somebody throws a flare in the fucking field, like how did he get through fucking security with a goddamn road flare? Like what the shit? But anyway, yeah. But there was a couple of sections like spread out that were because I mean it's so the DJ in between rounds and in between fights, he will be like, who's here from South Central, right? They're talking about Pacheco, and people would cheer, but during the fight, it would every so often pop up. It would, and it seemed as though it did happen often or often enough throughout the fight, but they never drowned out Nelson's people. Like Nelson's people were loud as shit, man, and they were like so cold, and they were just going to death. I was like, man, these fuckers are like really drowning out Pacheco's fans. I think it almost seemed like Pacheco's fans were like, nah, it's no problem. He's gonna get him, so we're not even gonna cheer him. It seemed as though that's how it was. I don't know. That's how it really was.
Or there wasn't a lot to cheer for, right?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, DAZN had like one right hand as the best punch in the first 8 rounds. It was one punch, not a combo, not, no knockdowns, no, one single right hand was the punch of the night.
Mm.
That's usually not a good fight, right? Thank God for the 12th round. Thank God for the 11th round when they finally started showing up. I can't knock Nelson. It looked like he was out of his weight class. It looked like he was overweight, and he's over the hill. I know he's undefeated, but he looked every bit of 36 last night, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You look like a dad. You didn't look like a fighter. Just being real. And that's a knock to Diego. Diego should have showed up more. He's carrying the C4 necklace. You need to throw bombs like it. You need to exchange. He's got to learn how to exchange. Throw more right hands too. He was way too uppercut heavy. That's another one. Way too uppercut heavy. I know Sean Porter was all into the uppercut, but no, not when you got that advantage, that height on someone. Let's start dropping the hammer, right? Especially when the guy's getting tired. There was no straights to the body. You got all the leverage in the world. You got all the pop. I mean, he does have 18 knockouts out of 22 fights, I think, at the time. So he does have some sort of knockout, even though they said, as his opposition is picked up, this was early. His knockouts have went away, and look at last night. He goes 12 rounds. Or Saturday night, excuse me. Saturday night he goes 12 rounds in a fight that he probably shouldn't have. I think Bomac knew Steve Nelson was ready to go, like in round 8, 9, getting to the late part. He was really yelling at him.
Yeah, he was. He was trying to rev him up.
Yeah, and like I said, DAZN was all over. It was like everyone thought it should happen, right? The guy's bigger, he's old, he's younger. This dude started looking really old at the end, but it just doesn't happen. And then in the final 2 rounds, he makes a hell of a fight out of it. The Nelson I'm talking about. He caught him with a few punches. I don't know if DAZN was trying to add a little, but he did catch. What I seen was Pacheco gets caught too much. That's what's scary about him not starting fast is you don't want to be down 7-0 and You're looking for a knockout now when, young man, you're not knocking out the guys since they picked up the opposition. That might not be the best strategy moving forward. You might have been able to dominate the weak guys, the amateur guys, at 6'4", I'm sure you're doing a lot. Now we're getting to the best of the best, top tens of every belt category. There's going to be guys that they're going to outwork you. You're going to start losing on points before you can really start revving up that engine, or I don't know, breaking them down maybe because of his size. He hits them once or twice around and knows by round 8 or 9 they'll be tired. It's going to be a lot harder as the opposition picks up, and he's already seeing that. So David Benavidez Sr., the trainer, they need to look at that and make some adjustments while he's 23 years old. I like his age. I do like that. He go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to ask you. So there's at least some glimpse of improvement, like saying like, okay, he's got room to work. It seems like he's, because of his age primarily, there's enough time for him to still get there. Because that's well, I guess I should ask you that question first and foremost. There's still that potential, like, okay, yeah, he didn't put on the performance one, but he's got it to get there.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, at 6'9", 74, 6'4", 79-inch reach, he's got all the potential. We know he's a fighter, right? He can throw all the punches, got good power. He just needs to learn how to plan B, other things than just relying on height and reach. And so yeah, he should have mixed it up with Nelson a lot more, being the younger and bigger man. He should have ended that fight with an exchange.
Yeah, that so my dad was watching it while I was, he was kind of texting me while we were doing it, and he kind of told me the same thing. It's weird because there's a fighter, Omar Salcido, who was on the undercard, who's the co-main event, taking on, he lost to Andy Cruz, and my dad was telling my dad about it, right? He was like, yeah, he got hit a little more than he probably should have. He's with Benavidez Senior, right? And looking at that, and then also Omar Salcido, who is with, if I'm not mistaken, also with Jose Benavidez Jr. Senior. He got hit quite a bit. I mean, I know that the star was still Andy Cruz, but he got hit a lot. And then I remember David Morrell talking about David Benavidez being, like a robot and like not having a lot of movement. And it's like, is this something that's going on in the camp, or is this something that maybe there needs to be more focus on, like defense? Or because I mean, Pacheco did what he did to like get out of the way. He was able to move his upper body quite a bit, but I don't think he needed to. He could have maybe stuck to like a stiffer jab or thrown that right hand a little bit harder, and maybe not needed to move as much as he did. But my dad saw him and was like, he's a good fighter, but there's nothing special about him to say like, damn, he's got this fucking like great speed, or he's got the fucking, and Ryan has the fast, quick ass left hook. Devin is smart as shit, right? Lomachenko's fast as fuck. Like, fighters have to have that little something, and he's very good at a lot of things, but it just doesn't seem like he has whatever that one unique thing is. He's very talented.
His best talents are his height and his reach. I'm going to keep going to that. And I think that has carried him a long ways in boxing. It's the same argument I used to have for Deontay Wilder, if you remember. At 6'6", in the American heavyweight picture, he probably dominated a lot of those young boys back even when he was 18. I know he started late, but all the 6'6" men are not in boxing anymore. Right? We don't have 6'6". Our last heavyweight American champ was Andy Ruiz. That before Deontay Wilder. What's his size? It's been a while since we had the Ken Nortons and the foreign. Well, I guess you could go Evander and Tyson, but even they're smaller. They're even smaller, right?
Riddick Bowe, he's a big.
There's one. There's one. Yeah, Riddick Bowe. But yeah, a lot of that has left. A lot of that has left the sport.
Michael Grant, but he didn't really get there to that degree.
Yeah, but probably a guy that benefited, got to at least the pro ranks because of his size. So I think I agree with your dad that's probably a true assessment on Diego right now. 23, he's got things he can change. But you are right. It's a good point about David Benavidez Sr. and his son. I just seen Jose. Yeah. The little brother's the junior.
Yeah, the little
Oh,
brother.
David. No,
Yeah,
David
no,
is a little brother on.
David is a little brother. Yeah, and
He's
Jose
just
for
bigger.
yeah,
He's just
he just literally took a big yeah, exactly.
poor Jose. His little brother started whooping him at a young age, probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that
But,
sucks. But
yeah,
anyways,
Pacheco's on good back. Like, fuck.
yeah, you will listen to me. Shut up,
Yeah,
smack.
got your listen right here, motherfucker.
I seen a video of Rigondeaux. Did you see the one where Rigondeaux is trying to show David how to cut off the ring? And he's
No.
basically teaching him the basics of left first, right first. It's
Mhm.
just a really sad video. Like, what the fuck? You didn't know that? You don't know which way you're supposed to start when you're moving to your right or your left. It's a weird video. It didn't, to
Mhm.
me, it didn't do Benavidez any justice I'll send it to you because yeah, I
Yeah.
just seen it. I
Is
just
it
seen it.
recent or is it an older one?
Um, I don't I don't know when it is, but I don't think it matters. When you're a professional
Okay.
boxer,
Yeah.
you should
You
know
should
which
already.
way you're walking. Yeah, I think
Fair
that's
enough.
in year one. I just did my boxing class. I think movement is in year
Yeah.
one as
I
a
just did my
green.
I just did my boxercise class with my weighted gloves, and they told me, you know, cut off the ring. Step.
Yeah, I think movement is year one, dude. Not even combinations. You should know how to move.
Mm.
Yeesh. So, anyways, but yeah, you might be right on that. Maybe they in that gym, they've been going off of the freaking. Hey, Jose used to be a face first fighter, right? Back in the day, Jose wasn't too much of a boxer that I
Right.
remember, right? He used to
Right. Right.
bring it too. So, and then getting shot didn't help.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, it could be the training. Maybe they do. Maybe not the father, but you got to drop Jose Senior and go get someone that is going to teach you how to move a little more. But I think his biggest thing was that I didn't like his lack of desire to exchange and counter. I don't like that. To me, he was really trying to bully the older guy last night, right? Just pick him apart when it was a showcase fight. Let's show up, and you're 23. Um, I didn't see him take too many risks. Let's take some risk out there at 23.
Like he coasted too much.
Yeah, oh, of course. I mean, like I said, first 7 rounds, bro. It's a real
Mm.
fucking slow fight. But I can't give too many rounds to Nelson. I don't have this
Right.
fight
Right.
close because
Right.
Nelson is fighting 36 and overweight. He's 36 and overweight. You could clearly see it in the ring. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
he's fighting at his like that last 2 rounds was probably because he saved it all for the final 2 rounds. You know what I mean? He was like, all right, here's where I'm gonna fucking try to do something, go for it all. But no, it's not like I was like, oh, Nelson's winning this fight. Never, never that. 3-1. I agreed with the zone 3-1 on the first four, but just a lackluster fight. Just a fight where there was a lot of improvement that could be done on Pacheco's side. But 23, you can do that.
So about that, about the improvement. So coming into this fight, Nelson was undefeated, right? And he had his share of knockouts. But up there in age, he started boxing late. I believe they mentioned as well. This was supposed to be more of a up the level for Pacheco, and it was still supposed to be some sort of showcase kind of fight, right? Um, eh, are we gonna? We didn't get the fight that we wanted, or at least we didn't get the performance that we probably thought we were going to get out of Pacheco. Maybe something more convincing. Not that obviously the decision wasn't convincing, but some sort of stoppage. Stopping Nelson. Considering Nelson was undefeated, nobody had stopped him before, obviously. So he was going to be there from round one from to round 12. What do you think? I mean, I guess urgency, I suppose, but technique wise, what should have Pacheco have done to at least try to finish it? Because it looked like he was, even though it was supposed to be a showcase fight, it looked like he was okay going to 12 rounds. Like it was just, I'm fine going to 12 rounds as long as I don't lose too many rounds. I'm fine. It didn't look like he wanted to necessarily take him out, or did it look like he was trying to take him out and he just couldn't?
Well, we're gonna know that when we see a little bit more of his fights. But I can tell you off what DAZN was saying, this is the way he fights. He's a slow starter and he tries to come on late. But as of lately, he's not putting these guys out anymore. Right. And when I looked
Mm,
at his record, I think his last 2 out of 3 opponents went the distance. But obviously, they probably just picked his opponents up
yeah,
3 fights ago.
I
Right.
see.
So now
Yeah,
they're like, okay, we got a problem. And I just think he needs to assert himself more during the fight with that kind of size and that kind of weight advantage that you have. He was much the bigger man last night. This was not about pounds. This was about muscle mass and freaking and his size, right? I thought he didn't drop enough right hands from that distance. Show the young man a little bit more the Tommy Hearns, where you're bringing that right hand down at a downward position. Um, so. Um, I would like to see a lot more right hands, assert himself more, and just there was too much of allowing the underdog to have his moments. Like I said, you get a guy in there that can throw 4 punches at a time, he might beat you, dude, because you're not throwing enough. You started late. You gave him the first 3 rounds. Because remember, the only reason why I say Nelson didn't win them is because he's not doing too much either. But what if he was actually throwing 4 punches at a time, even if he's missing half of them? You're way outworking Pacheco, right? Pacheco needs to pick up his output, and DAZN talked about that. They talked about how he just doesn't throw a lot. His engine needs to get revving, and unfortunately, the engine doesn't start until round 6, 7. I know in round 7 he had a dominant round. Maybe I'll give him to round 6. That's half the fight, man. You don't want to be down halfway through the fight especially if the guy on the other side makes as much money as you do. Now you're not even the favorite, Don't go down 6 rounds to Canelo. You won't win that fight, right? Yeah. He's gonna win the last 2 rounds. You're out, right? You gave him the first 5. You're fucking done, dude. So, because they had him winning 1 round, Nelson, in the first 6, I believe. Yeah.
How do you think Pacheco matches up with other guys, and not Canelo specifically, because they've talked about it, and obviously that's a little out of reach right now. Even though I want to say, and I might have to remember that post-fight press conference, but I'm almost certain that that Eddie Hearn believes that Pacheco is ready for him. I want to say I think he said that, but let's leave him out of the conversation, Canelo. I mean, for the time being, but. Immediately, the first person that came onto or that went to social media talking about Pacheco's performance is Edgar Berlanga. So looking at guys like Berlanga, looking at guys like Munguia, or I mean, hell, I don't know if that Christian and Billy dude, but we can toss that motherfucker in there. The only other belt that Canelo doesn't have is from this guy William Skull, I think his name is. He's like the IBF champ, I think. He's kind of out there. How, I guess, the two more high-profile names, Munguia and Berlanga, how do you think that Pacheco matches up with them? Like, skill-wise, obviously, fight-wise, is it still too early for guys like that? I mean, mind you, looking at Munguia, who just fucking lost. I mean, they both just lost. Even what's his name, Berlanga, obviously, to Canelo. But how do you think he matches up with guys like that?
Right now, he's the underdog in both fights, right? He didn't show anything last night that would make me think he should be fighting those 2 guys right now, and he's still very young. It'd be different if he was an Olympian, gold medal winner, right? Had all the money behind him. He's not. He's coming up from the trenches. He's got a little bit of momentum because he's undefeated, but I didn't hear them say anything about he's a 7-time national champ and he went to the Pan Am Games or whatever it is to get to the Olympics. I didn't hear any talk about his amateur record being declarated, so I don't think that's there. And he's very young, and there's just not a lot. So I would not put him in the ring. Eddie Hearn's fucking full of shit with the whole Canelo thing. That's him just trying to make money off the kid.
Probably, yeah.
Right? And he probably knows the guy's going to sign with His Excellency. Hey, we seen Eddie, right? He'll wipe the fucking mud, or what did he say? He'll clean His Excellency.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something.
What the fuck did he say? Yeah, no,
I'm never signing with Eddie Hearn. Can I put that out there right now?
Oh, you mean your son?
Yeah. Nope. He's out. He's out. That's a backstabber. A guy that can give in that quick. Let me tell you something. I would clean his shoes if he told me to. Fuck that. That's the guy you want fucking running your career?
This is all right. If Turkeyology asked me to clean his shoes, I'd probably do it. I like the fact that he added the probably part. Like, let me at least have some sort of dignity left. Let me say probably.
Yeah. Nah, there's nothing left. Bro, you'd get taxed on the yard, I'll tell you that. That'd be it for Eddie Hearn. That's
so no no Lapaches in matchroom boxing.
Fuck no, he'll turn you in. The other guy is a better deal. He's out. The fuck? That's kind of what he's telling me, right? He's like, oh, he's the way. Whatever, I'll do. Let me clean your shoe. I'll clean your shoe. Fuck out of here. And that's not a leader. That's not a leader. Nope. Nope. He's done. So he's out. Bob Arum never would have gotten on his knees for anyone, bro. Sorry, Eddie. Right?
Or Don King for that matter.
Yeah.
Somebody even like fucking Don King.
Nope. So yeah, Eddie fell under. Hopefully Oscar don't say anything too stupid, even though I thought Oscar's little rant the other day, we got to talk about that with the Bill Haney and Oscar De La Hoya feud going on. Thought that was kind of dumb of Oscar to come out and say. So I like his I like his little, what is it? Clapback Thursdays.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like him for the sport. He's, he's funny, but that one was just like, come on, dude. No, he told Oscar's a guy who's been cheated on in the ring, right? He had 2 guys test positive for steroids. He knows what it's like to get your life fucked up from steroids. Sugar Shane Mosley really threw a wrench in Oscar De La Hoya's life. Seriously killed his momentum big time. I know he was still profitable, but nowhere near the fighter he was before the 2 Mosley fights. And then you have the Fernando Vargas. Now, I know he won that fight, but it's just dumb that Oscar has been through this twice and would say something like that to Devin Haney. Act like, his fighter did not get caught dirty. And no, it wasn't a steroid,
Right.
but it was a supplement. It was a supplement that helped him.
It's a banned substance, period. It's a banned
And
substance.
yeah, and it helps him keep mass while losing water.
Yeah, it's banned for a reason. It's because it gives you an unfair advantage. So whether it's technically a steroid or not, the bottom line is the athletic commission says you can't fucking take it. Period.
And then second was the fact getting a call.
Oh, we
I'm not,
you
I'm
might
not,
get. You
I'm
can
not
answer.
gonna I'm not gonna answer it. Nope.
No,
You can leave a message.
Is it work? Is
I
like
don't know. It doesn't seem like it, so I'm not answering.
is this scam likely the way?
Yeah, oh, dude, getting flooded right now with that. I don't know what the hell's going on. So his fighter's suspended. Like, you're over here talking shit about Devin Haney when the guy that makes the most money for your company is not even fighting right now. It just seemed weird. It seemed totally out of
fights that his fighter, his biggest name is, was one where he cheated and then one we fucking lost to Gervonta. So like at this point, really, what star making performances does Ryan have that he fucking won and he came out clean?
Yeah. It was just a bad look. It was a bad look. I didn't, Bill Haney went low blow on the response. Came after Oscar's kids. That's never a good thing. But
well, I mean,
Oscar,
technically, I guess Oscar's going to his kid, right? I mean,
he did, and then he asked him to fire him. Right? That was kind of crazy. He was telling him to fire his dad. Yeah, it's just a bad look all the way around. But yeah, Oscar has no place to talk about that fight. That fight it's not even in the record books anymore, to be honest with you. You can sit here and go, oh, we're gonna remember. The only thing I remember is that dude failed a test, came 3 pounds overweight, basically told everyone he did it on purpose. Like, it was a total. It's a murder one. You know what I mean? He planned it. This is
right. It's premeditated. It's
premeditated. There you go.
In the first fucking degree, basically.
Yes, sir. Good way.
So that's kind of what I want to talk about, because that was one of my other topics, is fucking his little clapback fucking Thursday on the Haneys. Now you mentioned that that Bill kind of clapped back at what's his name, at Oscar. I haven't seen that video. I haven't seen his response to it. I've only seen what Oscar said to him. So if you remember, what exactly did Bill say? Do you remember what the things was it that he was talking about regarding Oscar and his kids?
He said he was talking, this is not word for word, but he was saying things like, you talk about my fathering skills or what me and my son are doing. At least I have a relationship with them. 3 of your kids can't see you. Another 3 won't see you.
I found it.
He started going hard, bro.
Here we go. I found it. All right.
Your house is empty like a museum. All it has is your old memorabilia. I was like, oh my God, that's not. Hey, Oscar, that's not a house, Doug. When all it is you everywhere.
All All right, so this is what he says, right? Oscar De La Hoya was never undisputed. Something Devin and I accomplished together because we trusted each other. I'm in the 2023 Manager of the Year or I'm the 2023 Manager of the Year because I believed in my son and he believed in me. That's something Oscar De La Hoya never had with his father, and it showed in how he treats his own kids. No, I don't want to come over to your house. Oscar kept the house Oscar kept the house, but lost everything in it in his kids, his trust, his legacy as a father. He got 3 kids who won't step foot in his house, and 3 who can't, including his 11-year-old daughter Victoria, who deserves better.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Sean and I don't know who's Sean and my 10-year-old daughter, okay, Bella, are thriving. Both A students and tennis standouts living under my roof with love and support. So, Oscar, before calling us crybaby bitches, remember your kids are the ones who are crying for their father for real.
Ooh. You can't clap back no harder than that. Those there,
Yeah.
Oscar, are fighting words. I'm sorry. The only thing you can do is reach back and slap this man. He
Mhm.
burned him. He burned him hard. That's definitely Haney put a fucking handprint on you, buddy.
Yeah, he's got one of those like power slap moments, and like
Yeah.
whack, just oh, look, it falls back.
He
All of it.
said, "My kids are thriving. Your kids can't even see you." Eesh.
Yeah, however many he has, I guess. But yeah, that's some harsh shit. I mean, realistically, Oscar kind of was like asking for it. Fuck, I don't know why
He
I'm
was.
kind of a
He
little,
was.
but he was asking for it, right? He's gonna
Yep.
go in that direction. Like, if he's been in the sport for a long time, you don't go that fucking route. He's doing basically what what Ryan, well, I should say Ryan was doing what Oscar does, but Oscar is doing what Ryan does, and basically just saying the most wild, outlandish shit to get into their fucking heads, right? And to get basically on their nerves. So when the time comes for the fight to happen, they don't pull out. Pretty much what they did
And
last time, right?
I'm gonna double down on the lawsuit that Oscar and everyone keeps talking about. I was all for the lawsuit, Miguel. You know this,
Yeah.
right? I wasn't for the assault. I don't know why his lawyers brought up that, but I thought Garcia was really lucky for as much evidence that he put online about even jokingly saying you're cheating. That
Mhm.
most of the time, people, let me tell you, when you joke around about, like, you tell someone online, "Hey man, I'll kick your ass if you fucking show up," or "I'm gonna go to your house and kick your ass," and then during the night that guy goes to dump his garbage and some homeless dude walks up and beats the fuck out of him. Guess who's the first person they're gonna go to?
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
You just said it earlier
You
that
just
day.
threatened the motherfucker. What do you think is gonna
Yeah.
happen? Yeah.
Ryan kind of did that all over the internet leading up to this fight, right? Talking
Mhm.
about how he was overweight on purpose because he says it before the fight, right? The 3 pounds.
Yeah.
Drinks a beer on the fucking thing,
On the scale, yeah.
on the scale. He just acted weird the whole time. And so I really thought there was a legal argument. You got to remember, sports, we haven't seen this type of social media behavior in the sports world that can be attached to an outcome of the event. I really thought that his post was attached to this fight,
Mhm.
right? You're talking, then after you're talking about you did it on purpose with the supplement. Remember, he's holding the jar going, "Oh, you did so much for
Yeah.
me." I know it's all jokes, but when you take it to court and then you get caught with it,
Yeah.
it's
It's
your fault.
it's it's stupid jokes. I mean, like,
Yeah.
how can I explain it? First off, yes, it's a joke, and we get it, right? But you're literally incriminating yourself. Like,
Yes.
that's the dumb part. Like, fuck whether the joke was funny or not. Maybe some people found it funny, maybe some people didn't. But it's straight stupid. Like, literally, like, your lawyer will give you this kind of advice. Don't do XYZ because that'll fuck you up later, dude. And that's literally what the hell he's doing. He's doing these stupid ass jokes on social media, which later's like, oh, really? So you deliberately try to do that then, huh? Okay, well, that's gonna
Like
cost you even more.
I don't think the bet was real anymore. That $6 million
No,
bet. No. There's
no,
no
six
casino.
million dollar bet. What? Oh,
He
the one that where he put money.
Yeah,
How
where he
about the
put
bet
money
with
on.
when the one that he did with Devin?
No, 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 no. The one with the casino. I don't believe it. I don't think a casino would have ate that with all that on social media about him fucking cheating.
Well,
It just feels.
but they can't take it back because it happened after the fact. The fact that everything came out after the fight, by that point, everything, the dust had already settled. Can they do anything about it? It's like that's why you think why it wasn't a
Uh-oh,
legit bet.
Miguel froze.
Oh, I'm still here. I'm still here.
No, because I think boxing would have been asked to change that. There would have been something linked to that. Bro, you can't have fighters fucking putting $1 million on themselves, steroiding the fuck out, winning the fight because they're juiced the fuck out and walking away with double their money.
Yeah.
That is a bad path to go down. So I think if it was real, you would have seen the casinos and everyone come together and meet with Ali Sheik, Bob Arum, someone, and going, how are we going to prevent this? Because look, in all other major sports, no one can gamble on each other. We all know that. They're busting guys all the time, too. Basketball's been popped a few times. Football's been popped a few times. Like, the gambling thing amongst players is getting a little bit out of control. You're hearing it a lot more. And there's a total ban. These guys are getting banned for life. But have you noticed the trend is they're all bench guys? Have you heard about this?
No.
Yeah, the guys that are fucking getting caught fixing games it's never the starters, never the fucking the.
So then, how do they determine? How do they like? I mean, well, okay. So
they're
I don't
gambling
know,
on themselves. They're gambling on themselves.
On themselves to win, to lose, to what?
If it's shaving points, if it's getting points, I don't know the fucking rule book of how they're fixing games, but the majority of guys that have been caught are bench players. It's not your starters. So, it's still a ban for life. And this is why I'm saying that. Maybe they're doing it for the starters, right? But it's a ban for life. That's why you don't have guys that are making 30 million out there trying to make 200 grand off a bet. You understand? It's a ban for life, like Pete Rose shit. So, in boxing, I think if Ryan really made $6 million extra off of a casino on a cheated fight, on a fight we know that was fucking fixed, there would have been some kind of court hearing, some kind of meeting with the boxing commission, with the boxing promoters. You would have heard something like, "Yeah, did you hear fucking casinos aren't?" Or I don't know how they fix it. Probably a ban, some kind of ban. If we catch that you were tagged, that's when the feds are gonna start looking in on these guys. Because, bro, we all know how they monitor. All the casinos know each other. Whenever someone comes in and makes a major bet, they all fucking call each other to see what's going on in the town. So it's very hard to do something like this when you do get put on that list of, yeah, you can't gamble. You know what I mean? And Ryan he fixed the fight that night. I'm sorry. That should go down in history as he got over on the casino. I don't believe it. I think it was a bogus story that caught fire because he won, and no one really goes and fucking looks his shit up. They just ran with the story. Oh, Ryan said he won 6. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it made it glamorized it more. It's like, oh shit, like now he really looks like a genius. Like, oh my gosh, not only did he do all this, but he bet on himself and he won. Oh my gosh, this guy's fucking Einstein over here.
Yeah, made like 50 million. I mean, he made 40 million, 42 or something for the things. He made 48 million. Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't think that happened.
We ain't falling for your shit, Ryan. Not no more.
Fucking. There would have been someone knocking at that door.
There would have been some repercussions.
Yeah, back in the day, it would have been the fucking wise guys, but today it'd probably be lawyers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I'd be like, Ryan, how come you're limping all of a sudden? It's like, I just twisted my ankle running on the treadmill. It's like, oh, really? Nobody came and whacked your fucking ankles? Like, no, I'm good, bro.
Took him to the top of the wind staircase and threw his ass down.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you ever fucking do that again?
For real. It's like, you see the top of the stratosphere over here? It's very high. All right. Well, let's go ahead and stick to the heavy hitters, the big names. There's been a rumor, and simply a rumor, that one Terence Crawford might step into the ring against Sergey Derevyanchenko as sort of a preparation for Canelo, primarily not in skill wise, obviously, but in regards to weight. It's just a brief rumor that came up. I don't know, how much there is a legitimacy to it, but it kind of made sense. I thought to myself, like, all right, if he's going to move up to 168, he hasn't fought at 160. he's only fought at 154. It seems logical that when he does step up, it won't be the first time with Canelo, but rather he'll have some sort of warm-up fight against a less dangerous opponent, but in that weight class. So this is what I pulled up here. Bud Crawford could be facing Sergey Derevyanchenko as a tune-up. First fight, of course, before going on to take Canelo in September 2025. But clearly it's going to be, or I should say, it presumably is going to be at 168 because I want to say there's where Derevyanchenko had some of his last fights. I want to say when he fought Munguia, I think it was at 168. As of right now, I haven't seen a lot of reports on this. As a matter of fact, during this weekend, Terence Crawford was very much there. During the post-fight press conference, people weren't asking him questions because I kind of wanted to ask him that question, but I'm like, he's there because of Bomac and Steve Nelson. So they were asking Steve Nelson questions, and I was like, damn, would I be out of line if I just kind of straight up asked Crawford this question? Just kind of like confirm or deny or squash this rumor. But it seems pretty plausible. Derevyanchenko, who's like not, who the same one who fucking fought Triple G several years back at that weight class 168. He's actually kind of a smaller guy, so he's not one of the big 168 pounders. And his age, of course, this doesn't seem too far fetched, does it?
No. Look, as long as they don't announce his record. Can they just get him in the ring and they start fighting? Maybe show some clips of the Triple G, the man who he was a few years ago, a decade ago. Because he almost has as many losses as he does wins now. He's getting up there, and he only has 15 wins. So he's lost a lot of fights here recently. It does nothing for. Look, all it's showing us is that Terence can take a punch, maybe, and we're gonna see how he looks, right? See how fat he looks at this division. But this guy's lost. What is it? 6 fights?
Yeah, he's 15-6, I think. Is
15-6. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. You need to start thinking, reevaluating your life choices at this point, young man. So that's all I get for this one, dude. Look,
it's funny that you called him a young man because he's 39.
Yeah, they're calling. Dude, I heard them say the other day on a podcast, or I think it was Porter. He kept referring to Terence Crawford as in his prime. I said, bro, Canelo's younger than him by like 5 years. Am I right? Isn't Canelo younger than Terence Crawford?
He is, but not that much, is it? I mean, holy shit. Hold on. I know he is younger, period. But
watch this, bro. Look at.
All right, hold on. So Terence is 37.
Oh, he's 37. I thought 39. All right, and the other one's 34. I think Canelo's 34.
Right. Yeah. And then and their birthdays are close to one another. Crawford's is in September, and Canelo is in November, I believe.
And I'm gonna jump around here, but are you got the tail of the tape in front of you? Where are you looking at the tail? Oh, you weren't.
Of who?
Do you know Crawford's taller than Canelo?
Oh, what the heck? No.
It's fucking crazy, bro. Canelo's so fucking small. Like,
all right, let me see. I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Yeah, look at the tail of the tape.
Okay, so 33 right now. Canelo and Crawford is 36. 65 wins. All right. Yes. Okay. Well, okay. Hold on. I don't think this is right. It shows Canelo as 5'7.5", but it shows Crawford as 5'8". So it's just a half inch.
I guess, but I never would have thought that, Miguel. He's coming up 2 divisions. You know what I mean? He's all the same size. Canelo might still be looking up at him at the weigh-ins.
Especially, did you see? Was it Crawford
and then look at
Spence when they had like platform shoes on or some shit? Was that you know what I'm saying? I gotta see that weigh-in again. When I don't know if it was Crawford and Spence, but their shoes had some thick old shit. If Terence does that again for like the Canelo, he'd be like, "What? Like I must break you."
Yeah. Hey, and then his reach is longer. It's freaking crazy, dude.
Let me see. Oh, they don't have his reach in this one. Okay, let me see if I can find another one that actually includes his reach.
Yeah.
Knockouts? No, motherfuckers. Reach. Here we go. Oh, 7. Oh no, god damn it! This is not the one. I don't know why it's giving me the wrong one. Yeah, I don't see their reaches, but anyway, regardless. So Crawford's is longer then, huh?
Yeah, at least Crawford's got, he's gonna match him at least on the stats, right? He's got so that was cool. I thought we could talk about that when the fight gets closer. How and then the Sergey, like I said, man,
Oh
that's what.
shit, 74 to Crawford and 70 for Canelo.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Not so much
right.
of a big difference. It's really
I
just more
know
like thickness, mass kind of
exactly.
thing. It's not
Yes.
even so much. I mean, and Canelo. I want to say when Canelo first started, I mean, when he first became pro, he was a welterweight, but he was never as small. I mean, as a pro at least, never as small as 135 pounds the way Crawford was, right?
Right.
Um,
And I'm sure Amir Khan is raising his hand somewhere going, I was tall and long too, you guys. It
yeah,
didn't help me at all.
that's true. Yeah, but I mean, he's been knocked out several times prior to that.
Exactly. Yes. So Crawford, yeah, is a different animal, but yeah, at least they
Yeah.
match up. We will see. So the Sergey fight, I will say, I like that his excellency is learning the sport. Remember, we were just talking about. I don't want it this UFC model. We want the best fighting the best. Blah blah blah. Then all of a sudden we seen Pitbull Cruz is fighting Garcia before he fights Devin. I'm like, no, I don't like it.
Mm.
Well, now he's fighting a much easier Rolly Romero. I'm sorry, Rolly. That's just the way it is. You got Terrence Crawford's fighting a perfect warm-up fight in Sergey because we do need to see what Terrence looks at. This makes or breaks the fight. It really does. Because if he can go in there and knock the shit out of Sergey Derevyanchenko and look big and look like Terrence Crawford, you know
Mm.
how much the ticket prices just went up for Canelo versus Crawford? So it's a good fight, good showcase that hopefully Crawford can get a knockout in. And the other fight that I heard about Hitchens, I know that's a Hitchens Lopez. I know it's a unification match, but Hitchens is the type of guy you want to see matched up with Lopez before you put him in with any of the big guys. So
Mm.
I like that his excellency is at least learning how to match make, how to build these fights, right? It's not all about fucking bang, bang, bang,
Yeah.
right? So
Or he's like learning to let other people run that shit, because I mean he doesn't know it. Obviously there are specific people who have certain jobs, and one is of a matchmaker, and that dude has a fuck ton of knowledge. If
yes,
it's not Turkey himself, at least it's the enough recognition for him to be like, all right, I don't
the
know this,
match
let me go ahead and let you do it.
the matchmaker is the GM of the team, right?
Mm,
He's the
mm,
guy. He's the guy bringing people in to make you look good. That's what a GM does to the quarterback, right?
mm.
That's just how it is. Um, so yeah, that's what I see in that fight with Sergey. It's a decent fight. I like where they're going with that one, and he's big. It's a big dude. I don't think his power was good, but at least he has the mass that Canelo has. He kind of has that body frame. So
Mm.
maybe he'll be throwing Terrence around. I know Terrence is a wrestler, but we'll see how he's able to control a guy that's probably going to be 180 plus when he fights him that night. Now, did you hear about the rehydration clause?
Um, no, I heard that there wasn't one.
I know, I heard
That's
that
what.
too. But then I seen on Boxing Connected, I think it was, that it's
Mhm.
14 pounds. I didn't click on it. Sorry
Okay.
about that. I didn't click on it to confirm where the story came from. I just seen it on my feed that there's possible a 14-pound rehydration clause on the fight, which still puts him freaking almost to 180. So I don't know if that really helps Terrence
Mhm.
Crawford at all. But there might be a 14-pound rehydration clause.
I'm gonna pull it up. I was looking, excuse me. I was looking at a what was it? I want to say it was a tweet by Rick Laser who talked about that briefly, but it was one of those things where, damn it, did I don't know if I took a screenshot of it, because I try to do that every time I come up with some of his stuff, but I remember him specific, and mind you, he's a much very much an insider guy. Let me see. No, it's not. Okay. But oh, here we go. Okay, so it says, Canelo's in the process of signing a three-fight deal with Turkey Al-Sheikh, which will include a mega fight with Terrence Crawford in September. It'll be by far the biggest fight in boxing this year. Nothing else compares, he says. And smartly, Crawford has agreed to no rehydration clause. This was The 25th, so 2 days ago. This is from Rick Glazer. So as of right now, the most recent, or a couple of days ago, Rick Glazer is saying that there is no rehydration clause. So you said you saw it on Boxing Connect, right? That's on Facebook, I think it was.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, because that, as far as I know, that's what it appears, that there isn't going to be any sort of rehydration clause for shit. Let me see. I'm kind of scrolling through Boxing Connect's people, their shit right now. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. Do you think? I mean, we talked about it earlier. We talked about it a couple of shows ago. It seemed as though Crawford was maybe a little desperate to get this fight actually signed and done, and basically said, "All right, let's just go ahead and do it however you want, Canelo." And of course, Canelo says no rehydration clause, and he says, "Fuck it, fine, I'll sign." So that's that's the impression that I'm getting. But as of right now, it looks like there isn't one.
Yeah, and you heard Bomac, right? Bomac was asked about it.
Hmm.
Bomac said, "We ain't no punks. This is boxing. We're gonna weigh in the day." So he was leaning towards there wasn't one either. All I'm saying is that on my feed, it looked like someone had posted that there was one. It was 14 pounds. So but I didn't click on the story.
14 pounds though, goddamn. I mean, Canelo's a thick, stocky dude, but I don't think you think he'd go up that high. Um, that seems like too much, because we're talking, okay, he weighs in 168, let's say, on the dot, right? 10 pounds is 178, for so 182 he would be. I mean, if he reached that max, like, no,
Yeah, if he had a good meal.
Yeah, if he was able to get, goddamn, dude, that's a lot of an advantage. No, having not having.
Miguel, don't you know why they talk about these rehydration things?
No, I
It's
know, but
always like 17 pounds. You never hear him go, "Oh, he came in 8 pounds heavier than he was last night." No one ever cares about that. It's when these guys are coming in 12 to 17 pounds heavier. So I've even heard as high as 17 pounds more. It's
well,
fucking
I know Chavez Jr. used to come in when he fought at fucking
yes.
160. He'd come in at 180.
Yeah.
Fight night.
Devin Haney. Devin
Oh,
Haney.
yeah,
Remember?
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
Devin Haney, yeah, and I want to say most infamously, Arturo Gatti, when he knocked the living piss out of Joey Gamage, he
Yep.
came in like heavy as a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that fight was at 140. So yeah, no, I understand though. I just the let's just say, for the sake of argument, going down this rabbit hole, that there actually was, and that report that you saw is legit, and there actually is a rehydration clause. 14 pounds is a lot for somebody, for him to give up. Like, the reason there would be a rehydration clause isn't for Crawford, but rather for
You would
Canelo.
think it would be like 10, maybe?
Yeah, to
No
not
higher
give up
than
that
10.
much
Yeah.
slack, that much room, be like, all right, fuck this, no more than 10 pounds, you know what I'm saying? Or shit, if you want to be a little more strict, we'll say 8 pounds, so to make it a little bit more fair, I guess, if he's going to go that direction. But it's like, all right, there's going to be a rehydration clause, but you can't be higher than 25 pounds heavier the next day. It's like, what the fuck's the point of that then?
They really wanted to fight.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but it's just like,
Reynoso and Canelo were like, "Okay, we'll sign that."
yeah, it's like that
Ooh.
that move when you're playing checkers and you're playing the move, and it's like, did he just give this, like, should we just that,
Double, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
or is he that much smarter than we think he is, and maybe he's just trying to lure us into his trap. But yeah, if that is the case, it seems stupid. He might as well just say no rehydration clause, because 14 pounds, goddamn. And
That
not to
is
say
the
that Canelo will get
rehydration.
there. Huh?
That is the rehydration. 14 pounds.
Yeah, that's what his normal
I hear you.
rehydration is.
I hear what you're saying.
It just doesn't make any sense to put the cap there. But that is interesting though. Like, it seems, as of right now, we know that the fight's taking place in September. At least that's what we've heard. And it looks like um, uh, Crawford has Derevyanchenko. We don't have any word on who Canelo has in May yet. Nothing yet. Huh?
Mm.
We have yet to
Well,
hear.
I heard a unification at one point. The guy you said that has the single title,
Oh yeah, William Skull. He's got the IBF belt.
Scully, Skull or something. Yeah, I heard him at one point was the front runner for May. And it's not a bad opponent, right? Gives him all the titles, makes the fight with Terrence prettier, right? He's got all the belts again, and yeah, and it's the guy's a nobody, so Both fighters should win, should look good, and then we have a super fight. That's old. That's old school stuff right there. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah, that's understandable. Okay, so we briefly talked about it very, very quickly because we were kind of talking about something else and we kind of totally breezed by it. But apparently, Pitbull Cruz will not be fighting Ryan Garcia. It was reported initially that we're going to get Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia in a rematch later this year. I believe they said October, New York. That's the last one we read, and they were going to have each. Haney and Ryan were going to have one fight before them. Haney taking on Jose Ramirez, most likely at 147. I'm thinking to prepare for, because we know once fight time comes around, Ryan's not going to make no 140. So chances are he's going to fight Ramirez or Devin, I'm saying, at 147 probably to get ready for that weight. And then Ryan was supposed to fight against Pitbull Cruz. That was the initial report. Well, Pitbull Cruz has since said he doesn't want to concentrate on anything else other than his February 1st fight, which we'll talk about later on the show, against this guy Fierro. I forgot his first name already, but basically he has a fight on the undercard of David Benavidez versus David Morrell this coming Saturday, the 1st of February, from the T-Mobile Arena. So he says, all right, cool. I don't want to kind of count my eggs before they hatch or whatever the hell the phrase is. He
Stupid.
doesn't want to go that direction. All right, so
Stupid.
he's out, and who comes in? One Roly Romero. So granted, it's a safer fight. I thought this fight was actually going to take place a lot earlier, a lot sooner, I should say. As soon as Tony Weeks helped Roly get the fucking WBA belt on him when he, beat that old man. I thought that is preparing Roly basically to just hand the belt over to Ryan. That didn't happen, but now we're getting it in a couple of years later. Clearly, the more safer. To some degree, I mean, I don't know if it was Turkey Al Sheikh saying, "Oh shit, you know what? That fight is a little too dangerous," or was it, what the story is, what we're being told, that Pitbull himself saying, "No, no, no, let me concentrate on February 1 before I don't want to
Before
compromise that
I
for
do a
anything else."
pay-per-view with
Right.
Ryan
That's what I'm
Garcia,
saying. I mean, you said it like last week. He's not even gonna. He probably won't even fucking fight on that February 1st card. Like what the fuck? Fuck that. I'll just get this Ryan Garcia fight, mega fight over here, pay per view, big money fight. But that's a big risk,
if
obviously, for Ryan.
if you can get a confirmation that the Pitbull team passed on Turkey All Sheik's pay-per-view with the guy that has sold over 1 million pay-per-views, if they really pass on that fight to fight on some fucking PBC card that's never done over 100,000, it's a joke. This is worse than Mosley turning down Trinidad, maybe. It's always my go-to story. It's a big Mosley turned down like 14 million to face Trinidad because he thought he was going to get Oscar in the third fight. Never happens. He goes to Winky Wright and loses twice. It's either, I think it's Wright or Forrest. Either Wright or Forrest, but he loses back-to-back fights. Only makes like 6 million for both fights. He makes like 3 million each when he was supposed to make 14 million one.
Oh wait, hold on. So if it was supposed to be the third fight with Ryan, then chances are it was.
It's Winky, huh?
I'm sorry. And yeah, whenever if Mosley was looking to get the third fight with Oscar, that
Yep.
was most likely already at 154. So
Yep.
most likely it was already Winky. Yeah, you're right.
Winky Wright. So
Motherfucker.
fucking crazy, bro. Like, no way. I don't believe that. I do
Well,
not
so
believe.
this is what Supreme Boxing is saying, right? And again, I don't think this is a quote directly from him, but it says, check this out. Isaac Cruz didn't feel comfortable with the timing between his February 1st fight and then afterwards taking on Ryan Garcia in May. So February, April, May, a couple of months if that were to happen. Sean Gibbons, this is a quote by Sean Gibbons. Isaac Pitbull Cruz would absolutely love to fight Ryan Garcia, but with the timing of this upcoming fight, as Pitbull is scheduled to fight on February 1st, he didn't feel comfortable negotiating another fight and turning his attention to that fight too. It was bad luck in his eyes, Gibbons said.
I believe the only way, and I know you guys, I don't want you running around going, it's fake news, because I'm going to believe some guy on the internet who don't have anything to back this up. But watch this. Pitbull, the only way he agreed to this is if Turkey agreed to him backing out. Turkey Ali Sheik doesn't like to be rejected. We all know that. We've seen PBC guys have falling outs with him. Zoo being one, Gervonta Davis being the other. He does not like being told no to, right?
Mhm.
So, if Pitbull Cruz had a contract with Al Heyman and he needed to um, fulfill that contract, there could have been a conversation where his team got a hold of Turkey Ali Sheik and said, look, this is the situation we're in. If we pull out, they're going to sue us. My guy can't get sued. We're not rich. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Then Turkey Ali Sheik, then they turn around and say, is this something that is there? Does he demand enough market space where we'll pay the lawsuit and bring him in with us and just be done with the February card? And then they said, no, just go ahead and do that fight. We'll see you down the road. He had to have ended it with good
On good
terms
terms.
with
Yeah.
Turkey Ali Sheik to pull this off. Because I do not think they were like, no, this is the bigger fight for us. Fuck Ryan and that guy. No way. They're not that dumb. They're all these dudes work for is to have the biggest fights in their life. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
think there was a contract obligation that needed to be fulfilled. Look for Pitbull Cruz to probably leave PBC immediately after and sign in with the DAZN and their stable after this. Yeah.
Yeah, and that makes sense because Pitbull, his last fight when he lost to Jose Valenzuela, that was on the undercard of Madrimov and Crawford, which
Yep.
was funded by His Excellency. So I think to some degree he kind of still had to, placate that. Like, all right, I don't want to get fucked up over here and have Hal Heyman or PBC take my ass to fucking court right now.
Yeah.
Let's just focus on this. And I mean, could
They could
that be
stop the
what?
fight. They could
Oh yeah,
stop it.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
even. Yeah, he wouldn't get the Ryan Garcia fight. They're Don Kingham. You know.
Hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, that seems more plausible. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, I think they're kind of giving us a little white lie here with Ryan. I mean, with Pitbull. He in the words he's saying he wants to focus on the February 1st. Yeah, he sure does. He
Yeah,
wants to
he
fight.
does.
Of course he does, but not in the way that you think.
Yeah.
They're kind of downplaying it a little bit, but yeah, that definitely makes a lot more sense. And I mean, truthfully, it would. I'm trying to figure out what the long term plan is with that because for Ryan that would have been a bigger fucking risk. That would have been a much bigger risk than Raleigh. And no
Yes.
shot on Raleigh, but I mean, if we're gonna talk about Pitbull and Raleigh, well, if they fucking fought, which they did, who got blasted there was Raleigh getting clotheslined over the top rope,
Right.
and fucking Pitbull whooping his ass. So, um, fighting somebody like Raleigh who hasn't fought in a bit, and his last fight was I want to say it was that loss to Cruz. Um, that seems like more much of a safer fight. I mean, it is. I should say. I shouldn't say seems. It is. That makes a lot more sense. It's more of a prep, and I don't think. What was it? When Raleigh lost to Pitbull, it was at 140. So I'm not sure if Raleigh has ever fought anything heavier than that, which is what is going to end up happening when he fights Ryan, because Ryan's not going to fight at 140. It was most likely going to be already 147. We're going to see a welterweight fight between these two guys. So bringing up a guy who has never fought there before, they were going to do the same thing with Cruz anyway. Don't get me wrong, they were going to do it anyway because he's never fought at 147 to my knowledge. But um, now it seems more plausible. Now it seems
Yeah.
all right. Ryan is going to get past Raleigh. Devin is going to get past Jose Ramirez, which he may or may not still. But um, it's a little bit of more of a safer fight, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the subject of leaving PBC, which Pitbull most likely will do, um, there's been a rumor that there's going to be a fight later this year. Well, first off, uh, no, I'm not Terrence, Keith Thurman is going to be fighting soon. He's going to be fighting Jarvis. What the fuck was his name? I already forgot the son of a bitch's name. Brock Jarvis. He's going to be fighting him. I'm not sure when he's going to be fighting him, but it's going to be pretty damn soon if I could just pull it up here real quick. Um, and supposedly, after this fight, we're going to see Keith Thurman take on Tim Tszyu. Now, um, of course, this fight was supposed to have happened when Tim Tszyu ultimately ended up fighting and losing to Sebastian Fundora in March of last year, I want to say. And, um, as long as Keith Thurman gets past Brock Jarvis, which I'm not entirely sure when they're going to fight, but it'll be between then and now. Supposedly, This fight is going to be on regular Amazon Prime, not pay-per-view. Um, that seems like bullshit. Um, I don't know when the hell the last time, I think it was, as a matter of fact, it was another Tim Tszyu fight
Yeah,
when he lost, right? That was the only time that they did these kind of free, Amazon Prime fights. But apparently that's going to happen. Um, what are the chances that that fight actually actually materializes?
is Amazon Prime from Australia? What is their obsession with this Tim Tszyu guy? Seriously. He's not like that's what you want to open your network with on the free programming, right?
Mm.
Zoo versus Keith Thurman, the hairline that goes back fucking 20 inches. It's a Amazon looks so old right now. What's happening over there with the zone and His Excellency? Zoo better get on board really fast, or he's gonna get left behind, man. Fighting all these bums from the PBC. And I'm Keith Thurman. You're over the age. You're just hanging on right now. I don't mean to call you a bum. That's not the right thing to say, but these veterans, right? These guys
Mm.
that are looking for that one last check before they call it quits, right? Keith
Mm.
Thurman was a broadcaster not too long ago, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah. He
like
was on the mic.
stop it. Let go get on with your career. I don't like it. It's not a good fight. No one's gonna watch. Amazon, I hope they pull the plug and let's just all get on board with the zone because that's where everyone's going anyways. It's just that they're prolonging this death too much. And to go back to the Pitbull situation, he needs to make sure that he doesn't get a raw deal in that last fight with PBC. Hopefully he's got a good manager contract with Al Heyman where Al's still going to make money off of him as he goes over and does the Ryan Garcia fight. Because Bob Arum would serve you up a loss if you thought you were going to leave his company. Right,
Yeah.
right.
It's like don't let the door hit you on the way out. Let me go ahead and hand
Exactly.
you this L before you exit my office. Yeah.
So yeah, Pitbull better be very. That is the biggest fight of his life right now. Is in February. He needs that win.
He needs to concentrate on
Yes,
that
he
fucking
needs that
February 1st fight.
that
Yeah.
that win, and then go on to bigger, better things. So yeah,
So let me read this real quick because I just saw that. Okay, so Thurman is supposed to fight against this dude Brock Jarvis in Sydney, Australia. I think he's trying to prep him in March. Should that go through and should he win, he's got Tim Tszyu waiting for him in the summer later this summer. Dan Rafel is reporting that if both Keith Thurman and Tim Tszyu can pass, oh shit, I didn't realize Tim Tszyu even had. Oh, you know what? I think Tim Tszyu gonna fight that Spencer guy that I told you about. That Joey Spencer,
Joey,
who
Joey.
used to be a PBC dude as well. Um, if both Keith Thurman and Tim Tszyu get past their interim fights first, PBC is planning to bring back the Keith Thurman Tim Tszyu for summer of 2025 as an Amazon Prime
It's so
non-pay-per-view
weird.
show.
So weird.
They are hell bent on just really driving this nail in the damn coffin with this Thurman and Tim Tszyu fight. Which, I mean, hell, it wasn't that juicy back then a year ago, and it sure as hell isn't now. Now that not only has Tim Tszyu now suffered two losses since then, that one against Fundora and then his most recent one, but Thurman still hasn't been in the ring. He's still 3 years, so it's like, all
The
right, let's go ahead.
joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke,
So
bro.
we're
The fact, I mean, Amazon's really showing their lack of knowledge in boxing too. Just keep getting fed these two guys, right? You're
mhm.
literally putting your whole platform on the fucking shoulders of Tim Tszyu, who is not even known in America. It's just,
How do you
it's
think that conversation went down? Like Al Heyman's like, all right, I know it didn't work out last time, but hear me out, hear me out. Bring out the PowerPoint presentation. Remember that Keith Thurman dude? He's back. Let's go ahead and try it one more time. I can guarantee you these guys will sell tickets. And I don't know, and the card or the post doesn't specify like where the fight's gonna take place, but I mean, come on, do we really have to go back to the well here?
no, we don't. I'm hoping that Rick Glazer's tweets are correct and Amazon has already pulled the plug by summer of 2025.
Hmm.
If that's all you got, I'm saying if I'm Amazon, I'm calling now and going, this is all you got is Thurman and fucking Zoo. That's the best you can give me to open up my summer of 2025. Trash, bro. This is a trash company. You're not even. Those are bench players right now. Even Zoo. I'm sorry, Zoo's lost hella momentum since his 2 defeats.
Yeah,
That's a lot of momentum gone in boxing.
yeah, and
Now you kind
it's
of
not
look
even.
like
Oh,
you're
go ahead.
just going off your dad's name right now. You took 2 back-to-back defeats.
Mhm. And the second one being bad. Like, I mean, the first one was bloody, but he was
Yeah.
in it, and it was a. I don't remember if it was a split decision or not, but it was a bloody ass fight, right? And he ultimately, lost. Fine. He won fans there, even with the loss. He won fans,
True.
and
True.
then in the second one. He got fucking smoked. That
Yeah.
one was harder. So I mean, even like post fight, people were asking him like, "Damn, like how you feeling, yada yada." And he's like, I gotta go back to the drawing board on this one because I don't know what the fuck I did wrong. That's how bad of an ass whooping he
No
got in that fight.
defense.
Yeah, yeah,
No
exactly.
defense being the first one you need to work on. I mean,
Yeah, so that's gonna look bad. I mean, I don't know where. I mean, hopefully there's still some marketability there to where Turkey Al Ashika's like, all right, cool. You got your ass beat. Come on now, let me go ahead and rub sana colita de rana. Sorry, let's go ahead and do this shit. Hopefully there's
he's
still something for him there with Tiger. I mean, Turkey.
he's got to win. He has to win, and I don't know if Keith Thurman is the win that's going to put him back on the map. You know, um, yeah, it's just weird that Amazon's going down this route.
Yeah.
It seems like they're people that drive that company have better knowledge of what flies and what doesn't in the TV market, right? You guys are clearly missing it on boxing right now. Clearly.
Mm. Let me
Matter
reread.
of fact,
uh,
PBC's been on 15
I,
platforms.
I was just about to read.
Oh, there you go.
Let me reread this wonderful
Yes.
tweet by Rick Laser. And this was, excuse me, from the 16th. Um, so it says, being told by a rock solid source, I don't know who, that Amazon Prime will be dropping PBC boxing in May. All right, that's the prediction, May, right? As PBC has failed to hit minimum pay-per-view numbers. Now, I'm not sure if that means pay-per-view buys or like number of pay-per-view events. I don't know, but regardless, it says minimum pay-per-view numbers. This will be the 12th platform that has permanently disassociated themselves from PBC since the inception of PBC in March 2015. Another Al Heyman fumble. So 12 platforms slash networks, including, well, I guess 11 up until now because Amazon hasn't actually cut the cord yet. But should that happen in May, before we know it, they're going to be gone. And guys like Pitbull and Tim Zoo, they need to start making the jump over to.
Benavidez.
Oh yeah, exactly right. Benavidez, that's good. And you know what's crazy? Damn, when I went and unfortunately I didn't get to ask David the questions that I wanted to ask him when he hosted that media workout. But that would have been. I kind of want to, and I don't know when the next time is that I'll get credentialed. But if I do, um, by the way, this is gonna be another story, but I don't want to cut to all the things. But we already know that Fundora is not going to take on Spence. As of right now, it seems as though they're going to put somebody else in his place. So that fight might still take place March 22nd here in Vegas, and it's going to be a PBC card as Fundora is with PBC still. So if I can get down there for any of those media obligations or media events, I'm gonna have to start asking PBC guys these questions. Like, are you reading this? Like, what do you know? What are you at liberty to disclose? What
Yeah.
can you tell us so that when was the last time you talked to fucking Al Heyman? Those kind of like tough questions, because when I keep seeing these reports or these tweets by Rick Laser and other people as well, mind you, saying, "Hey, their time is running out. They're on borrowed time at this point." What the hell's going to happen with some of these fighters? Are the fighters not seeing reading the writing on the wall? Are they not making the jump before the damn ship sinks?
I think it's contract obligated, and their market isn't big enough for His Excellency to buy him out So he's probably just telling the David Benavidez being another one, bro. Like we do not have a guarantee that he's a pay-per-view star. We do not have a guarantee he's a household name. The only way you get those is selling out arenas and selling pay-per-views, and he's done neither so far. So His Excellency very well could just be telling these guys, win out your contract, come over, we'll work together, but he's not going, I need Terrence Crawford. How much money does Bob want to get you? You see how Telefimo Lopez talked about buying out the contract,
Hmm.
and now he's signing fights with His Excellency. Did they buy out his contract, or is Bob just working with His Excellency? But you heard that's what Telefimo wanted, right? And actually he
Hmm.
got it because he got out of his ESPN fight. So didn't he? He dropped the ESPN. Yeah, he didn't take the final offer. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah.
last one. Who was it? Yes, that's Subriel Matias. That,
Matias.
that's the one
Yes.
that he was. Yeah, and I mean, he talked briefly about it too in that interview. Telfimo, I'm talking about, of like maybe waiting out the end of ESPN, because supposedly, from what we've read, Top Rank is going to be leaving ESPN later in the summer,
Oh yeah.
and possibly going to DAZN. That's, at least that's what the reports are saying. So I don't know if they are going to go on to DAZN ultimately or not, but them kind of being, and that was another, and this is just a bit of a side story. And if you guys follow Matchroom recently signed um oh gosh, I forgot his fucking name. This young American Olympian, Amari, damn it, that was the last name. But anyway, so we did like a quick little brief media scrum, and he was answering questions about his signing with Matchroom and stuff and things, right? So I want to say, yeah, Amari Jones, that's what he is, Amari Jones. And I didn't think about asking him that question about, because he signed with Matchroom and, Eddie Hearn, and they're already on DAZN. And it occurred to me later, like, damn, I wonder if that's one of the reasons why. Because during the media scrum, he was asked about other promoters who tried to court him, right? And, Top Rank was one of them, but he decided to go ultimately with Matchroom. I don't know if that kind of pushed him in that direction. The fact that ESPN and Top Rank's deal is going to be ending later this summer, and he didn't want to go to Top Rank, knowing that there might be in limbo after this summer. But anyway, that was just another side story. But yeah, I wonder if that has something to do with with Telfimo, stuff like that. So a lot of these fighters like
Because
Wundora and Benavidez, they're going to be kind of in limbo themselves after Amazon drops PBC.
yeah, yeah, because Lopez has ESPN numbers to go off of, right? A few of his
Mhm.
fights were the most watched or whatever. He had big numbers on some of his nights with ESPN. So His Excellency looks at that and knows that he's bringing a market with them, where David Benavidez did like 60,000 buys on his first pay-per-view, and we don't know what Saturday will bring. Um, I can tell you, I'm not hearing a lot about it. Nobody has called me saying, "Hey, that David, that monster." Remember, he was almost getting that. The nickname, the monster, was almost household. It almost
Mhm.
Mike Tyson put it on the podcast. Canelo was declining the fight. All that has died. The podcast interview went away. Canelo fight went away, and so we'll see how he does on Saturday. But no, I'm not getting a lot of talk about this fight, Morrell versus Benavidez, or Benavidez versus Morrell.
Mm. That's interesting. So that is kind of where I was headed, because that was one of the other stories. Of course, mind you, this is the what is often called the go home show before a big fight. And if you want to consider this one a big fight, David Morrell taking on David Benavidez this Saturday. The co-main event is Brandon Figueroa taking on Stephen Fulton, and that's going to be a rematch at 126. So I decided, let's go ahead and fucking talk about this one, because Andrew gave me the little softball. It's like, all right, we don't know what this weekend's going to look like as far as pay-per-view numbers, but with a strong um, co-main event, what do you think their pay-per-view numbers are going to be? Just predicting right now. Mind you, it's not just Benavidez and Morrell, but Fulton, the rematch between Fulton and Figueroa. Their first fight was quite entertaining. If fans remember that shit, it was a pretty good fight. Fulton coming away with the decision, and giving Figueroa, I want to say, his first and only defeat. So they're going to run it back. with Fulton having since lost to Inoue. It's a good co-main event to kind of it's a good little appetizer. With that co-main event, what kind of numbers do you think we're looking at?
If the Mexicans in Texas, where's Benavidez from? They're from San Antonio, right?
No. They're from Phoenix. They're from Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona. There you go. And then Figueroa is from Texas.
Yes, Figueroa's from Texas.
Those two should bring in 100,000. And I'm going to tell you this: that's going to be a knock to Gervonta if Brandon Figueroa out of Texas brings 100,000 with David Benavidez and Morrell, because Gervonta was with David when they did that 60,000 buys, right? Or it was really low. Don't hold me to that number, you guys, but it was really low. They bombed.
So supposedly it didn't crack 100,000.
Yeah. All right. There's a good.
Yeah. That I'm almost certain that what I've read was it was under that amount.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go that they're gonna do more just because of Brandon's popularity in Texas. I'm hoping that his fans, and look, that first fight was an awesome fight.
Yeah.
The Figueroa Fulton, that was an awesome fight. Figueroa almost won that thing.
He should have. He should have won.
Yeah.
I didn't agree with the decision, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, more body shots. Body shots. But so I like the co-main. The main event I'm not too hot on. I hope Morrell, proves me wrong and shows up and puts on a good fight. But if he gets out, this is very much could be a Pacheco situation where he's just in over his head, right? Wasn't ready. As a matter of fact, he has 10 lesser fights. He only has 11 wins, I believe.
Let me think. Yeah, I know he had a very smart number of wins, fights, but as far as like the actual record goes, let's go ahead and pull this motherfucker up right real quick. Alrighty, 11 fights, 11 fights, right? 11 wins, but 9 by KO. Isn't that kind of indicative of his popularity?
Well, hey, Benavidez gets hit, so you never know. But yeah, he's very young, and so this could be a Pacheco too fast. Don't put him in there too fast, but it's too late. It's Saturday's coming. You know what I mean? He's signed. So, my favorite is Benavidez. I just, this guy has everything going for him right now. Hopefully he's in tip-top shape, ready to get this W, get on to the bigger, better things. I think they've already said he's going to face the winner of Morrell. Benavidez faces the winner of Better Be versus
Pitbull.
Yeah.
Which is a couple of weeks. Let me see if I can pull up my calendar here real quick. So that's going to be 3 weeks. Okay, so this Saturday is the first, right? We have Benavidez and Morrell. 3 weeks after that, let me see, 8th. Yeah, 16 to 22. So 3 weeks after that, then we'll have our answer. So by the 22nd, and damn, these are two like big light heavyweight fights happening in the same month. So by the end of February, we're gonna have a pretty clear, sort of bracket, I guess we can say, for the potential winner of those. So before we get into our predictions of how the fight goes down and who wins and how, let's go ahead and take a look at these odds here. So let's see here. Let's go back. Where the hell were we? Here we go. All right. So starting with actually, I guess we can toss on. Not really. I was gonna say we can toss on the Isaac Cruz fight, but he's a favorite. Who we know that shit. All right. So Figueroa and Fulton. Figueroa is coming in as the favorite at -175, with Stephen Fulton coming in at the underdog plus 125.
Wow.
Mind you, this fight is taking place at featherweight. Their first fight took place at super bantamweight, and when Figueroa held a media workout, he was asked about it, and he said, "Yeah, I don't know how the hell I made 122. Still, that was like my last fight. That was like my last fight." So it was obvious that he was going to be going up to 126, regardless of whether he won or lost. But he ultimately lost, and that didn't go his way. But Um, since then, Fulton has lost to Inoue. He lost the belt to Inoue. I want to say he moved up to featherweight 126 and had a split decision victory that he didn't look very good in. He actually got dropped in that one. So I think that's one of the reasons why Figueroa is the favorite. He moved up to featherweight first, and he's looked a lot better at featherweight than Fulton has. But we can start there. Figueroa by KO, TKO, or DQ plus 275. So they don't see the fight ending. They fight this. It seems as though they anticipate the fight going the distance if Figueroa wins. Figueroa by points plus 150. Still on the plus side. I'm not sure why. Like, how else would they anticipate this fight happening? That doesn't make any sense. So if it's Figueroa by stoppage, KO, TKO, or DQ plus 275, or if he wins on points, it's plus 150. How does that make any sense? They're both pluses. What?
Because you're picking the exact way. What is Figueroa overall?
Oh,
If you
okay.
just go for Figueroa,
Minus 175.
minus. So that's your safe bet, right? Is the minus 175. Now, I like the decision bet for Figueroa. So yeah, you could put your money and try to, that's where guys get greedy, right? Instead of going safe and just going for the fighter straight up, they try to pick the outcome. It's burned me many times.
Oh yeah, it got
So-
me with fucking Ruiz and Joshua, dude. I was like, you know what? Ruiz will win, and then I saw the odds of rather not, he'll go over the 6 rounds. Like, yeah, he'll go on the over 6, and didn't. It was like 10 seconds short of that shit. I was like,
oh
fucking
yeah.
ref stopped it like too soon. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I should have just stuck with the clean win for Ruiz. But anyway, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so no, that's where they're getting us on that one. But no, I like the decision for Figueroa. Fulton, he did move up. He got stopped by Inoue. That was an ugly fight. And then I think it's just the size. Figueroa did look good. I don't know if you follow him on social media, but
Mm,
he's in tip-top shape right now. And those extra pounds, yeah, they really do make a difference. He doesn't look like the skinny guy now. There's a little bit more muscle mass on him. You know what I mean? So,
mhm.
so yeah, that's probably where the bookies are saying it's going to be those few extra pounds that give him this victory this time.
All right. So how do you see it going? Like, I mean, we know that Figueroa is the favorite. How do you see it going down? Do you think he's going to stop Fulton, or do you think he's going to go the distance?
No, I would have picked the distance because he's not a power puncher to me. Figueroa, he breaks you down,
Yeah, he's a
and
volume puncher.
yeah, Fulton's been stopped, so look for him to be more defensive because 2 back-to-back stoppages, you're probably not making any more money. So
Mhm.
once he falls behind, I look for him to go in defensive mode if he feels like he's not going to win this fight, and he doesn't have the power to go for it all. Anyways, he's not that
Mhm.
type of fighter either. So no, I just have Figueroa 12-round decision. Just keeps working. Now, look, with that being said, their first fight, there was a lot of exchanges. A lot of times I thought Figueroa could drop Fulton if you just added a little bit more body work. Um, so there was potential there, but I'll be safe. I'll just take Figueroa by decision. 12
Okay.
points.
Yeah, yeah, when Figueroa had his media workout, he was asked a lot about this fight. I asked him personally, which is on our YouTube channel if you want to check out our shorts. I asked him if he felt he had the advantage now at 126, and he thinks he did. He thinks, he's looked a lot better at 126, and he moved up to 126 first, so he believes that he has the advantage. On top of that, another media member asked him about how he wants to finish the fight, right? And he's like, well, it'd be great if I can knock him out, of course, but I'm not going to be, I'm going to be looking for it, but I kind of won't be looking for it, because then, it ends up not coming. And when the time came around to me and I asked him, I was like, do you think you need to stop him? Because last time you landed a lot of punches and someone else had already previously said that the fight kind of went the way he wanted it. It was kind of his fight and he still got the decision loss. So this time I asked him, like, do you
True.
think you need to get the knockout? And he kind of was like on the fence about it. I mean, right offhand, I'm trying to remember what specifically he said it, but he doesn't think he needs the knockout per se, but rather he would much rather have it to kind of eliminate all doubt. So, I looking at it. I think he's actually going to stop Fulton. I do think he's going to stop him probably late. Um, I suspect that he didn't go to the body as much, or because again, he fought his fight. He fight his fight. Figueroa did, but had he gone to the body earlier, like you said, he probably would have been able to finish them. I think he knows that now, and with the extra gas that he has in the tank, moving up to 126, I think he's going to be able to stop Fulton. So I see it as a late fight stoppage or late round stoppage. I think Figueroa is going to take it. I'm tempted to put some money on it, but it's too risky. I don't know, because it's bit me in the ass more times than I care to mention. But okay, so that's the co-main event. Now we talking about the main event. Now we are talking about David Benavidez taking on David Morrell for some interim WBC, I think WBC light heavyweight title that David Benavidez has. So basically, the winner of this fight is going to be the #1 contender and is going to take on the winner, or at least presumably the winner of Beterbiev and Bivol, which will take place on the 22nd of February. So looking at the odds here, David Benavidez, of course, is the favorite at -190. David Morrell, the underdog, at +160. If we're talking about a draw, it's +1600. Clearly, they don't anticipate it being a draw. Now, the method of victory here: David Benavidez by DQ, KO, or TKO, +300. So they're looking at possibly a decision. I don't know. David Benavidez on points, +125. Okay. Morrell by TKO, KO, or DQ, +600. Clearly, they don't see that happening. Or Morrell by points, +260.
The only way the kid could win. Jeez.
I know, right? Exactly. So, yeah. So that's how that's where we're at. It's just the straight money line. Benavidez at -190 and Morrell at +160. That Morrell +160 is looking a little tempting, to be honest.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, man. It's just when I see odds like that, I'm like, you know what? Let me put $40 on the motherfucker. See what the fuck happens. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'll fucking spend $40 at a casino and some Starbucks. Let me put it to use. But that doesn't seem too bad. That doesn't seem too bad.
Man, oh man, you guys put it all down. Put the house on the +300 for David Benavidez to knock this young man out. Sometimes you gotta watch what you wish for, and I think Morrell picked the wrong bear. He was poking the wrong bear. David Benavidez, this is the biggest fight of his life right now. This is gonna set him off into the fights that he thinks he belongs in with Beterbiev and Bivol. Potential, I guess you could say Canelo again would come up. No, 11 fights, bro, and you pissed him off. This dude's gonna come in with every trick in the book. You better be fucking ready. I don't see Benavidez holding back at all. The guy talks shit. The guy's young. He's green. I can see his dad and everyone just coming together and being like, we're just going to ice him. Go in there and fucking show him what a professional is. This isn't going to be a school lesson. I'm saying this fight's over in 5 rounds, dude. I don't see it going 5.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. He's too green. 11 fights, bro. And then you went and talked shit? We're going to see, but I didn't see anything in Morrell that made me point to where he's the future either. There's nothing moving this kid except he has an undefeated record and PBC has a bunch of bots. I've always laid on this fight. I was always kind of against it, right? Like why it just
yes.
So now
you're like, oh gosh, and I'm like, really? Damn. that was like a good announcement. I'm like, I've been wanting to see these motherfuckers for a hot minute.
So now I gotta lay the money on Benavidez to prove me right. So I'm going +300 for the knockout.
All right. So a couple of seconds ago, you just said you didn't really see much in Morrell to say that he's the fucking future, right? But it wasn't like we saw that great of a performance with Benavidez when he first moved up to 175. That's kind of what we saw in Pacheco. It's like, all right, we expected this fight to be, and mind you, he did fight another oddly coincidental, that Ukrainian fighter whose name I never pronounce, who was in his 30s as well, sort of like
Right.
Steve Nelson, and he wasn't able to take him out. He wasn't able to cut off the ring. He wasn't able to do a lot of things. He ended up winning the fight regardless because it was still one-sided. But it wasn't like he was that showcase type of fight to say, oh shit, he's up at 175. He brought the power with him. He fucked this dude up. Oh damn, watch out for Benavidez. We didn't see that either.
No. But they went back to they're at 175. That was cruiserweight. He fought him. No.
No. It was both. And both these guys have only fought one time at 175, and it's their most recent fights. So they're at light heavyweight through and through. And it's not. I think you might be thinking about Ramirez. Are you talking about Soto Ramirez or?
Oh, it was Ramirez that went to cruiserweight. I
Cruiserweight,
thought
yes, sir.
Benavidez did on his last fight just to check it. Didn't he leave 175 for a fight? No.
No, I'll double check that, but I'm fairly certain he's only fought one time at 175, which was that Ukrainian dude.
Okay.
But let me just double check that here. Real
And
quick.
he didn't look good. Well,
Right.
you know,
That's the one that was on the undercard of Gervonta and
Davis. Yes.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Martin. Let me double check that here real quick. But anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
On this one, this is his second fight. Then at light heavyweights, he should be 100%. And I'm really, my bet is off of the lack of experience on Morrell. Morrell is not Vasily Lomachenko. He did not come into this sport as a 3-time, gold-winning Olympian with 300 plus wins. It's just hard to make that jump so fast in pro boxing. I expect Benavidez to teach this kid a lesson. Sort of like when Cepeda, I can't remember the Puerto Rican kid's name. Remember when Cepeda stepped up to that undefeated Puerto Rican kid over there in New York? They fought on ESPN, and the kid's talking shit in the weigh-ins at the press conference.
Yes.
Gets knocked out in one round.
Yeah. Let me look that up because I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great fight for Cepeda, man, because the dude really hyped it up with his mouth, and then Cepeda knocks him out in one round, and I remember ESPN saying there's levels to this game.
Damn, where the fuck was it? This guy. Oh yeah, here I think this is the one. Is this this is it? Oh man. Anyway, yeah. No, I know
Cepeda. It's Cepeda is he's 140. I know there's a few of them. It's not William.
No.
It's the other Cepeda.
It's Jose.
Oh, yeah.
It's Jose. I know it's Jose. Yeah.
Yep.
I know
yeah,
that.
Jose
I'm trying
Cepeda.
to remember the guy. But yeah, I remember who you're talking about. Okay, so I mean, but that just I don't know. My concern is Benavidez not looking that great at 175. It doesn't seem as though he brought the power with him. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. And it was just maybe the opponent that wasn't obviously willing to exchange. So maybe we haven't seen the best of Benavidez at 175 yet. Although that first fight was supposed to be a test, he passed the test regardless. But I wasn't entirely convinced that he was the same Mexican monster at 175. Maybe this ultimately does happen, but with that being said, and what Morrell has said about Benavidez, him being like a robot, him not having any head movement, you don't think that's going to possibly give Morrell much more, I guess more of a leg to stand on, to say like he's gonna get wiped out in 5 rounds? Well, if he moves us, I mean, he's not the kind of guy. In a very coincident or ironic way, because he is Cuban, we expect these kind of Cuban fighters to run a lot because that's kind of the style that we were accustomed to with Rigondeaux and stuff like that, and Lara. But Morrell is not the kind of fighter that runs that much. Although I will say he probably will when he starts exchanging with Benavidez, and he'll start seeing that the power is there, and then he'll start. So I suspect that might happen, but I don't think Benavidez finishes Morrell. I mean, if he does, it might be later in the fight, but 5 rounds, really? That's all you're giving Morrell, really?
Just because lack of experience. Lack of experience. Deer in the headlights when he gets hit the first time. And we'll see. But I'm saying off of his resume, I don't see anything that puts him in championship caliber, right? 11 fights. He's fought in really nobodies. Doesn't have any big wins. He's not from the Olympics. I've never heard of him winning the gold medal in any of the Olympics. Right? Have you heard him winning the Olympic gold?
No, I don't remember. I know he's an amateur, but I mean, other than that, to say like he's an Olympic dude, no, I don't think he's. Let me see here.
Because they are some of them are decorated. Yeah, I mean,
Right. No, I pulled them up here. So yeah, he got some championship, Cuban national championship in 2017. Prior to that, youth world championships in 2016. So yeah, he has. I don't
did
know
he
what
even
his.
qualify for the Olympics? I mean, fuck, let's even go there.
Yeah, let me amateur career. Let's see here. During his amateur career, Morrell compiled 130 and 5. That's his amateur
Not
record.
bad. Not
Right.
bad.
He won gold medals in the World Youth yada yada, and the 2018 Indian Open International Boxing. No, so it didn't look. So it doesn't say that he didn't qualify for it, but I mean, it looks like he didn't.
He
And
didn't.
whether or not he actually made the attempt to, I don't know. But no, he just went straight to, like, I guess, pros. Because here's the thing: whenever I see these fighters, these Cuban fighters, or actually usually European fighters, come over and they have a small professional record, it's because they have an extensive amateur background. He doesn't have that. So he has neither an extensive amateur background nor a lot of fights under his professional belt. So I get what you're saying as far as him being that green. Do you think size will help him at all? Because I've seen these guys. Benavidez is a big dude, right? Not just in height, but obviously in weight. But oftentimes, I think his height makes the fighters like Andrade or Andrade and Plant kind of like, oh shit, this fucker's like a lot bigger than I fucking thought. When I saw them during the promotional commercials, and they kind of look very close in height. Um, I think the Ukrainian fighter who David Benavidez beat in by decision was closer in height as well, and I don't know if that had anything to do with it or just the fact that he was running a lot. But what will size matter? Do you think Morales'
Well,
height will help him?
he might be able to take a punch, you know, he take a punch better, but this is just going to be about just too much David. David throws those combinations, right? Those 6-punch combinations, the hand speed that he has, the power that he has. This kid's only got 11 fights. He's never seen this. There's levels. I got to go back to that. There's levels to this. How is he going to jump so many and not have anything that backs why they're even doing this besides money driven? So I think that it's an uphill battle. I don't like it. I'm going against the guy. I'm going with the champ, man. I got to go. And then they were trash talking.
Yeah.
So now you pissed off the champ. You didn't put him to sleep. You should have been over there like, oh, I'm glad, I'm honored for this, and try to make a buddy sparring match. Not David wants to come out and prove a point on your butt now. He's very young, you guys. Like I said, if Benavidez is really the top of the division, he takes Morrell out in 5 rounds on experience alone. That's it. I can't see this.
You don't think that I guess the mind games of Morrell, because Morrell has talked so much.
Man,
shit,
David
right?
ain't that good if this guy goes fucking 12, bro. He's not that good.
Really?
Come on, Miguel. 11 fights.
I hear you. That's why, like, when David fought this Ukrainian dude, I'm like, all right, this guy's out the fucking door.
That guy almost killed Adonis Stevenson, though.
Yeah, it's true.
He ended the champ's career, bro. I know it was fucking a decade ago, but he had been in the world-class moment, and damn, did he win. Won too good. He was too efficient on that night, not knocking Superman. I hope he's doing good, Adonis. But you hear what I'm saying.
He literally retired.
Yeah, he retired him. Yeah. So, no, that guy was legit as far as in world competition. Morrell is not even proven. Morrell should have eyes this big when that bell rings. Guaranteed, bro. He's going to come across with a nervous look. He's going to have butterflies. Not only has he not gotten over just being a professional fighter with only 11 fights, you're fighting the fucking, well, he's not the cream of the crop because you got better beef in there, but he's one of them, right? Mm-hmm. He's top 3. You're looking at one of the baddest dudes in the division. I expect him to be a little bit nervous. David's going to pour it on to him because he wants to prove a point, and 2, it's really the biggest fight of his life. He better come out fucking swinging. This is not Pacheco. David Benavidez is not Pacheco. you better come out fucking showing your shit. You're in the dead prime, right? And he's not over the hill. He's not too young. He's dead in his prime. The guy pissed you off, and he's green as shit. That's a recipe for knockout in 5 rounds. I'm sorry.
What do you think the motive was then for Morrell to talk so much? Because you said he should be like thankful as a motherfucker, right?
Yes.
Thank you for giving us opportunity.
Yeah,
but that wasn't the case. He came in, cocky as fuck, and he tried to, talk. And he, once he tried to, he talked plenty of shit.
It's his ego.
The ass whooping.
Huh? It's his ego. He's got a fighter's ego, right?
And that won't make him last more than 5 rounds.
Fuck no. No, not an ego. Don't do it. No. Well, we'll see, bro.
Well, no,
I'm going off.
Addy, I'm trying to get. I mean, I want that prediction, of course. The 5 rounds.
Yeah, no, maybe he takes a punch and proves me wrong, but he ain't there. I don't see him winning this fight. And gosh darn it, if David is real, he better take this kid out. This guy is a kid. He is a kid. I know he's old, but in the boxing terminology, this dude is jumping from fucking Z to A. That's what he did, right?
All right. So I think that it's worth at least putting, $40 on.
Not on 300. Plus 300.
But that's by K or TKO. I don't know that I'm telling you, that's bitten me in the ass before. That specific.
They're writing a free check there. I don't know what Vegas is doing. There's been a few. There's been a few. That Mike Tyson one. What the fuck? The decision was plus fucking 150 or whatever for like. There's been a few times Vegas is getting it wrong. That computer, that AI shit that's making these numbers, boy. Huh.
Yeah, and I think it was what was it? There was another one's like 215 or something. I think it was Fury and fucking the rematch with Fury and what's his name? Goddamn, was it Fury and what the fuck's his name? Usyk. I think that they fucking they had Usyk by decision, and I'm like, how the hell is it plus anything? That's how he won last time. But all right, so I do think Benavidez will take it, but I don't know that fight that I saw him at 175. I'm not sure if the power has followed him to 175. So I think he's probably gonna. I would think that he's gonna want to like take out what's his name Morrell like bad, right? But once they're in the ring, I don't know. I suspect that he's gonna actually let this motherfucker go 12 rounds. I do. I don't think. I mean, it'd be crazy because we've never seen Morrell, in that position. So, I suspect that Benavidez will take it, but I suspect it'll be 12 rounder.
That's gonna be a boring fight. Because how many rounds? How many rounds are you gonna give Morrell?
PBC.
Oh yeah, no, this is true. This is true.
All right. Well, to not let this go any further, because we're looking forward to a fantastic fight this weekend, make sure to tune in to PBC, Amazon Prime, whatever the fuck, pay-per-view for David Morrell and David Benavidez this weekend. I keep saying Morrell's name first. I don't know why. But anyway, those are our picks. Andrew's got Benavidez in 5. I think Benavidez takes the 12-rounder. It is a PBC card. So we'll see how that goes. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to us ramble and this fantastic Monday evening show. We will be back next Sunday talking about the results and see which one of us is right, because I like seeing them. But thank you so much for listening, y'all. We'll see you guys next week. Peace and take care.